go. Here we go. That's what we do. You put one hand on top, you put one hand on the bottom. You ready? All right. All right, ready to go? Cool. Count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Yay! Look at that. Good job, you guys. Excellent. Well done. Well done.
Thank you so much for joining us here today. I'm Telly Mamayek, Director of Communications and Education for the Minnehaha Creek Watershed District. So happy that you're here to enjoy the Minnehaha Creek Preserve, the grand opening here today of this fantastic renovation project, an example of a great partnership with many partners that you'll be hearing from today. And then after that, you are welcome to tour the boardwalk and a paved trail system. It's 1.5 miles, a fantastic oasis here in the middle of St. Louis Park. We will have staff members stationed at areas marked by balloons where they will tell you unique facts about this project and answer any questions that you may have. So please welcome our first speaker, the president of the Minnehaha Creek Watershed District Board of Managers, Sherry White.
Good morning, and thank you all for being out here on this gorgeous, gorgeous day that we've been given. I am Sherry White, President of the Board of Managers, and on behalf of the Board of Managers, I want to welcome you all to the Minnehaha Creek Preserve. This is the latest installment in a large-scale restoration of the creek through its most urbanized section, and it's an example of what can be accomplished with the philosophy of partnerships in a focused geographic area. With support from the Clean Water Fund, the Watershed District added curves to this previously straightened creek and partnered with the City of St. Louis Park on the boardwalk and trail that we're standing on today. I'm pleased to see that so many residents are using this new boardwalk and trail and this educational pavilion with its interpretive signage. Children from Meadowbrook Manor have been participating in an environmental education program here this summer. Area residents are exploring the area and enjoying the scenic views, and wildlife, including deer and waterfowl and eagle, have been spotted here in this renewed habitat. I want to express the Watershed District's gratitude for the spirit of cooperation that helped to make this project a reality. Due to the City of St. Louis Park's willingness to think of the big picture, its initial desire to stabilize a badly eroded stream bank has led to this much broader restoration that achieves multiple benefits. Cleaner water, improved wildlife habitat, access to green space, and a renaissance of a resource that had been hidden from view for many decades. We also want to thank Minnesota's Board of Water and Soil Resources for its support of this project with a grant from the Clean Water Fund. That funding not only helped us to restore a treasured resource, but also the community's connection with this iconic waterway. In addition to Meadowbrook Manor, other local partners, including the Excelsior Townhomes, Japs Olson, and the St. Louis Park Sunrise and Minnetonka Rotaries, were all part of the fabric of this vibrant and rewarding project. The Rotary Clubs funded the installation of benches that you will see throughout this project. And of course, the day would not be complete without recognizing where it all began, at Methodist Hospital. We greatly appreciate Park Nicollet Health Services vision, which created the first Minnehaha Creek remeander and boardwalk east of Louisiana in 2009. That project set the stage for this restoration, and we look forward to the completion of the additional work that is taking place upstream, which will add to the new Minnehaha Creek Greenway. We hope you all have a chance to enjoy Minnehaha Creek Preserve and experience the creek in a new and exciting way.
Well, good morning, everybody. I'm Jeff Jacobs. I'm the mayor of St. Louis Park, lame duck though I may be, as I'm leaving in 6 months. And so this has been a really a wonderful, wonderful project. I really wanted to thank all the many partners that were part of making this a success. You've mentioned a few of them already, but clearly I want to mention the city staff and all the staff from the Minnehaha Creek Watershed District. Without this partnership, without this collaboration, this would not have been possible. What you're seeing here today, frankly, is a classic example of what happens when cities and state and local agencies, businesses, residents, and organizations all collaborate into turning a vision to make a better community into a reality. So I really want to thank all of you for that. This preserve brings the St. Louis Park closer to the creek. It adds 39 acres of green space to our community. And so we're really, really pleased about that. That's been one of our community visions for a long time, is to preserve and enhance green space and usable public spaces like this into the future. For decades, you know, well, more than that, Minnehaha Creek, as far as I'm concerned, is one of the great environmental assets in all of St. Louis Park. It's been a hidden gem running through our community, and unfortunately a lot of people don't really know that it's here. Or they don't know much about it. And so I'm really pleased that this will enable people to learn more about the creek. I'm really happy that these young kids are learning about environmental responsibility and environmental maintenance, and this will be an example of how you can do that successfully. So thank you guys for all you're doing. This all started to change about a decade ago when there were literally 23 representatives from the Minnehaha Creek cities and a few other agencies that gathered to develop a vision for the creek that would improve water quality, by restoring aquatic ecosystems, reducing flood damage to the corridor, and would allow for this really, truly invaluable natural amenity to be used and showcased by the public. You know, you can see in some of these pictures along the back here, in the 1920s, we kind of thought we could outsmart nature. Even though the Titanic had only sunk like 10 years before, we sort of had this sense that we're smarter than that, you know? So they straightened the creek out, they drained the wetlands, and it turns out we weren't as smart as we thought we were, that those wetlands are here for a reason. The reason that the creek meandered the way it did, that was done for a reason. So I'm really happy that we've restored this back to its natural state for all the reasons that have already been outlined. So as you know, the preserve will formally open today, but many people have already used it. I mean, from the folks at Meadowbrook to people around the community, I know that patients at Methodist Hospital use this. Both patients and visitors walk around these boardwalks. It's very calming. I think it helps healthcare. Honestly, I do. I think it makes people feel better when you can come out here and be in this beautiful setting. It just makes everything better. So I really want to encourage you all to visit the Minnehaha Creek Preserve, enjoy this newest jewel in the crown of our city and of our city's green space. And I want to really thank you all for joining us today, and we'll go to the next speaker, I think. So there we go. Fair enough. Thanks. Steve? Thank you, Rick.
Thank you, Jeff. I'm Steve Christopher, and I'm the Board Conservationist with the Board of Water and Soil Resources. And one of our responsibilities at the board is to administer a number of the natural resource state grants, including the Clean Water Fund. And there's been a lot of interest in the Clean Water Fund by local government units for the funds available. And Minnehaha Creek, jointly with the City of St. Louis Park, was able to submit a successful application. Approximately only 20% of the applications end up receiving funding, and the city was awarded $300,000 for this project because they've identified several key components along with the Watershed District. They had a direct plan connection within the city's plan and to the district's comprehensive management plan. They've been able to identify a resource in need, both here as well as you follow the creek down through Minneapolis into Lake Hiawatha and eventually out to the Mississippi River. But one of the key factors was the strong partnership that they've been able to develop both between the city and to the Watershed District. So I'd like to commend both the city and the Watershed District on their possibilities here.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for coming. I am Linda Trummer. I'm the outreach coordinator for the Meadowbrook Collaborative, which is a partnership of the City of St. Louis Park, St. Louis Park Schools, and Park Nicollet Foundation. And I get to work with all the families and kids who live in all those red brick buildings up there. And when I started this job a little over 22 years ago, Meadowbrook was really an isolated neighborhood. And one of the things that this boardwalk has accomplished is it really opens up opportunities for us to reach out into other parts of the neighborhood without having to walk around busy streets and go through industrial areas and so on. And we love it. We have some kids with us today. A lot of them are in summer school, or I'd have a lot more, but I'd like to invite the children to come up. But before, can I just mention, I'm also the president of the St. Louis Park Sunrise Rotary Club. And our club, along with the Minnetonka Club, Roger's here today, and I know some members from our clubs are also here, did a cleanup, and we also have 4 park benches for you to sit on and enjoy the beauty of nature spread throughout this area. And then I noticed Den Evans, who's the property manager for Meadowbrook Manor, is here also, and would like to thank him for his help in making this possible. So kids, you might have to, I didn't have to stand on it. My name is?
My name is Jason and I'm 6.5 years old.
Okay.
My name is Angela and I'm 14 years old.
My name's Lowell and I'm 14 years old.
My name is Jocelyn and I am 8 years old.
Okay, and you guys have something to say?
This banner is for you.
We made it with lots of love and all the kids signed it.
Thank you for giving us such a special place to visit.
Right in our own backyard.
Okay, guys, come on over here. We'll put it in front. You come over here. We're going to open it up and present. We're presenting this to you, Telly, and your group.
Good morning. My name is Duane Spiegel, and I'm the Vice President of Real Estate and Support Services for Park Nicollet Health Services. And, you know, we recently merged with Health Partners, so we have a larger organization. We've got Methodist Hospital, Park Nicollet, and now Health Partners. And our mission, so you heard a lot about community connectivity, et cetera, here and benefiting community. Our mission at Park Nicollet and Health Partners is to improve the health and well-being in partnership with our members, patients, and community. So I emphasize the community part here. And I just want to take you back and give you a little perspective on the Methodist Hospital and Park Nicollet perspective on this project, because it was about, Jeff, you mentioned 10 years ago, a decade ago, so I go back to about 2004. We were starting to think at Park Nicollet about building our new heart and vascular center. And we were viewing the wetland and the watershed as a barrier. We said, oh shoot, we got the wetland buffer and we can't do anything. And then we were told that we needed to clean up the runoff water because we were going to have more runoff, etc. And then all of a sudden the light switch went on, and the district and us came together in our design, and the next thing we knew, the water could be cleaned up by having rain gardens. And the Watershed District offered us a Cynthia Krieg Watershed Stewardship Grant. So that led from one thing like that, the simple thing like that, it led to another, and pretty soon the wetlands became the theme, and the Watershed District basically and nature became the theme for our new facility that we were building at Methodist Hospital. So the building design features has the random patterning of the wetland, for example, and nature in it. We've got the patient rooms, for example, and waiting rooms that have huge windows, and what they do is they overlook on the wetland, again, like the mayor said about this being part of healing and well-being, and that's what nature is for us, and we wanted to take advantage of that. The other thing is that we took the wetland as part of the theme for our artwork. So we actually have the Watershed District from Lake Minnetonka down to the Minnehaha Falls as a sculpture and a piece of artwork. And also the wildlife and the vegetation that are in the wetland are spread throughout our building now at Methodist Hospital. So it went from a obstacle or a barrier to an asset, and I think you mentioned also that this is an asset for the community, and we see it that way now as well. And it took us a while to get there, but working in collaboration with the district, we got there. So the other thing is that how could we, as an organization in healthcare, differentiate ourselves? Because there's great healthcare throughout the Twin Cities, right? But what do we have at Methodist Hospital that no other hospital in the Twin Cities has? We have the boardwalk on the Minnehaha Creek that nobody else has access to. So this is a differentiator. Surprise, surprise, that we actually can use the wetland and the boardwalk and all the work we did now as a differentiator for providing a healing environment for our patients. And the other thing it does is it actually allows us to help recruit and retain quality talent in our employee base. People love coming to work here because they go out and walk at
at lunchtime and in the mornings all the time in the district. Now this is an extension that also gives them even more exercise and health and well-being for our staff as well as our patients and their families. And quite honestly, it's a very, very positive diversion. When you're going to a healthcare facility, you don't really feel well. And what do we have? What's a diversion? You sit in a waiting room, you go to the cafeteria, what do? Well, here you can come out and enjoy nature and have a beautiful boardwalk. So we really appreciate that, and we believe it's a differentiator. One other quick story, community connectivity we talked about. One of our employees' son was working on his Eagle Scout badge. He was from Eden Prairie. He heard that we were building the boardwalk in the wetland, and he approached me and said, "Hey, Duane, I'm going to work on my Eagle Scout project, and I'm thinking that maybe what I could do is build birdhouses for the wetland." And I thought, that sounds like an interesting idea. So go ahead and talk to your scoutmaster. He did. He researched the houses. We talked to the district, and next thing we knew, he and his dad built all these houses. They came out to the district, and they came out to the boardwalk area in the watershed, and they installed the birdhouses, and he got his Eagle Scout award. And we know that Eagle Scouts are great community assets as well. So that was just a fun connectivity to the community also. And then I just wanted to also thank the district for being a partner. Yeah, I said before we saw the watershed being a barrier, etc. Well, we kind of saw the district as being a regulator and not a collaborator. Well, that changed quite a bit, and now we really view the district as a collaborator. So thank you very much, and that's been very helpful. I think it helped us realize the vision of a much better project, better landscaping, better district, healthier water, healthier environment, healthier community, and we're so thankful for that. And I guess the other thing is that you know, in 2009, then we opened about a quarter-mile of boardwalk over at Methodist Hospital, and that was the culmination of that 5 years worth of work with the district. So we were excited about that, and now just extending that beyond the hospital over here into the some more of the wetland area into the community. That's great, and the connectivity to other businesses and the neighborhoods, as well as the future light rail station, which is going to be not too far from here. So we're excited about that, and I think it just allows everybody to really enjoy the beauty of the area, and we're so thankful and proud to be a part of this and a part of the community. Thank you.
Good morning. My name's Jamie Long. I'm the district director for Congressman Keith Ellison. He's in D.C., unfortunately, but asked me to come and read a letter on his behalf. Minnesotans value their rivers and streams. From the mighty Mississippi to our own backyard creek, we cherish the opportunities for peaceful walks and outdoor recreation. Today's event marks an important milestone for Minnehaha Creek. The restoration work has been truly impressive, and this amenity will serve the community for decades to come. The Greenway will be an attraction for residents across the region, and the water quality benefits will clean the water for users downstream. This type of project doesn't happen by accident. It takes hard work over many years. I want to thank the Minnehaha Creek Watershed District for its vision of what Minnehaha Creek could become. I am proud that I was able to secure a $382,000 federal appropriation for the project in 2009 to allow for a planning study. I am also proud of the partnership the state, the city, the community, and private partners have shown in making this project a success. This project shows the importance and the reward from investing in our waterways and in environmental preservation. I'm sorry I could not be there in person for this important event, but I look forward to experiencing the restored, better than ever Minnehaha Creek firsthand soon. Your friend, Keith.
One more. We have a last-minute addition to the program. Excuse me, Sherry. We have a representative from Senator Amy Klobuchar's office who also has a letter to read from the senator. So would you come up, Greg Swanholm? Thank you.
Thanks, Telly. Again, I'm Greg Swanholm. I'm an outreach director for Senator Klobuchar, and she too is in Washington, D.C., but asked me to come share this letter. Dear friends, thank you for your kind invitation to join you on this momentous occasion. Though my schedule prevents me from joining you in person, I want to take this opportunity to congratulate all of those who made this historic Minnehaha Creek restoration possible, and to thank you for your commitment to preserving Minnesota's natural beauty. The hard work and dedication that brought this restoration to life will provide access to 27 acres of green space, as well as the boardwalk and trail you see here today that will be cherished by this community for many years to come. But as many of you know, increased recreation space is not all you achieved here. Through this project, the Minnehaha Creek is one step closer to its natural shape. This restoration will provide fish and wildlife habitat, improve water quality, prevent erosion to ensure the sustainability of this natural treasure. I would specifically like to thank the Minnehaha Creek Watershed District, the City of St. Louis Park, the Clean Water, Land, and Legacy Fund for your strong partnership and leadership on this important project. I'm honored to serve you in the United States Senate and look forward to working with you in the future. Sincerely, Amy Klobuchar.
As I look around, I see some others I'd like to introduce before we turn this over to Telly. Two of my colleagues from the board are here, Manager Bill Olson from Victoria and Manager Dick Miller from Edina. But also, Hennepin County Commissioner Marion Green from this district is here with us today. I'd like to thank her for coming. And Park District Commissioner Dan Freeman from Three Rivers Park District, who is also here, and this is in his district. Thank you very much for coming today.
So before we play the video, I want to open it up for questions from the media who are present here today. Would you like to ask any questions? We're also available after the ceremony as well for individual interviews.
We were just talking about when there was flooding back here, and is this thing high enough in case the floodwaters get really high again?
It definitely is. We had tremendous flooding last year, historic flooding, and it got to the just the base of the boardwalk, but the actual surface walking area was withstood the flooding and actually was very safe. So yes, it's built very well.
And if you start a walk on it and you don't know where you're going, will you get lost or will you eventually end up back here?
This is a 1.5 mile complex of trail and boardwalk that connects with each other, and it also loops back. So you just keep walking and you'll eventually find your way out. But I think you'll enjoy getting lost for a while in this preserve. Thank you. Any other questions before we play the video?
I just have two questions. In terms of the feasibility study, is there a total price tag?
Yes, I would have to defer to our project manager, Mike Hayman, who I believe is available.
Yeah, so the total project cost, which would be the stream restoration, stormwater improvements, bituminous trail, boardwalk, was right around $2.7 million.
Park closed at any hours?
Well, so the bituminous trail portions will be open year round, and they'll be maintained by the City of St. Louis Park to provide access throughout the winter. The boardwalk areas will be closed in the winter. They won't be managed for snow removal. I believe Creekside Park closes at 10 p.m. So that's kind of the general park hours that we would ask people to respect.
If you wouldn't mind talking about how this was through the flooding last year.
Sure. Yeah. So the design of the trail system, certain elements are designed to actually go underwater through what would be known as the 100-year flood. But the majority of the trail, so there's enough access to provide throughout the entire project area in the 100-year events. So when we do receive precipitation and flood events like we had last year, you can still access the trail. And actually, that was part of the design, was we wanted people to be able to experience a wetland or a stream system like this when it's under various conditions. So you can see this mainly turns into a large lake, a large surface water body. You won't actually find the stream visible in those events, but it becomes an entirely different ecosystem.
So the next part of our program is a video that the district produced in partnership with our partners to give you a history of this area as well as a context for how we got to where we are today.
On behalf of the City of St. Louis Park, I just want to express how thrilled we are about this project commencing. This project represents a great partnership between the City of St. Louis Park and the Watershed District, something that we've been working on for a very long time.
It has the highest pollutant load per unit area of anywhere on the 22-mile stream. And a lot of that is based on just the historical land use changes that occurred post-World War II. The stream was just a ditch running kind of northwest up to Louisiana, and then again continuing northwest, and then just these straight segments where it had been moved so they could construct a lot of the surrounding landscape.
These changes have increased the water and pollution that's being delivered to Minnehaha Creek, downstream Lake Hiawatha and the Mississippi River, as well as eliminated in-stream habitat As a result, Minnehaha Creek and Lake Hiawatha are listed on the state's impaired waters list for fish, chlorides, and nutrients.
We're changing that. We want to turn towards the creek and view it as an asset versus a liability or just another utility.
This project, in combination with others, will slow that runoff down, hold it on the landscape.
The city of St. Louis Park had contacted the Watershed District about a section of Minnehaha Creek that was channelized that had some erosion issues on the banks. And we kind of turned around and saw the Methodist site and this great restored natural stream system. And the discussion evolved from there into, well, why don't we attempt to do something like that?
Back in 2002, we were talking about expanding and we were going to build a heart and vascular center. The Watershed District said, you know, you guys are building this healing environment and we actually have this kind of sick wetland here that we'd like to kind of heal. What if we partner together and create something that works for you and it works for us?
Methodist Hospital embraced the whole idea and participated so willingly with us that it became a tremendous success.
The view of nature makes a difference.
Thank you.
There are fewer days of hospitalization, there are fewer complications, and people heal faster. We could not have done this on our own, so it was a valued partnership. I love the fact that it's growing. I love the fact that it started here. Looking forward to having it linked to other areas.
This project really helps accomplish two major goals that we have in our community. One relates to better connecting our community through means other than using cars, like sidewalks, or in this case, trails.
There's a paved trail that will be able to take bikers or higher speed people all the way through. And there's many spots where you can connect back onto the slower, more scenic routes.
Secondly, this really is very exciting for us because of the environmental benefits.
We created a couple of stormwater facilities that take over 80 acres of the surrounding runoff and direct them through two pond systems and then allow them to slowly overflow into the project area wetland. We added a lot of woody debris, so we wanted to create an area for refuge for smaller fish and invertebrates. And we also added spawning habitat.
This is going to be an observation pavilion. There's going to be some signage. There'll be a set of steps coming down just so you can kind of get down and see some of the nature.
All right, listen up. Over the summer, we had a wonderful program about science and about our community, so we were able to take a lot of nature walks down in this area, looking at different trees and finding out what kind of animals live here and the different plants that are in the water. Nature is really important in learning and fresh air.
And what can you do with them?
Before the boardwalk was here, I was just kind of like, oh yeah, there's a bunch of trees down there. I never really gave it a second thought. And now it's, part of our daily life.
We opened here in August of 2010. We felt it was important to come into this area and help revitalize it. We have our patio out here. We want the area to look nice. And as you improve the creek, the local residents as well will start taking note of that. Their properties will start looking better.
We are a watershed that has been built up by and large, and we can accommodate the built environment, and the built environment can be enhanced by the natural environment.
We're looking forward to the cold storage area being turned into a green space and more retail or apartments, whatever.
We've been able to start to plan and design and even build projects upstream, really trying to address comprehensively the issue that was going on in the area.
The partners, especially the private partners, see the value in enhancing the natural resources. It has positive impact on the value of their property. And of course the greater community sees more tax base.
This has turned out much better than I had expected. With this project, people are actually going to be able to see the creek, experience the creek, and not actually have to be physically in the creek with a canoe. We couldn't be more thrilled with being able to partner with the Watershed District on making this become a reality.